really excited to have a couple of different presentations today for you this morning while we wait for the briefs to fill in, and then today is going to be race day. So your coaches are going to explain to you what the course is for the day and what to kind of think about out there. So I'll let them do that so you don't think about it right now, but there will be an explanation of what we're doing. Really excited to have Chloe and Lara up here. They're going to talk to us a little bit about clean regattas and how that looks. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Again, just like yesterday, phones on Do Not Disturb, stay really present. After these guys finish, we're going to have the Cell GT team come in, a couple of them, and they're going to talk to you and have a little bit of a Q&A for 30 minutes as well. So 2 extreme differences for the morning to start off. And thank you both very much for talking.
Thank you.
Nice. Thanks, Rosie.
All right, so I'm Chloe. I'm a 29er sailor, and this is...
And I'm Laura, coaching a lot of you here.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about Sailors for the Sea Clean Regattas initiative. So do any of you know what a major challenge is to ocean health? Do you have any ideas?
Plastic.
Plastic, that's a good answer. Anyone else? Yeah. Trash, yes. Okay. Well, let's go into more detail about in this video to see what some other challenges are.
Our ocean system.
Is it not put the video on?
I'm not sure if we have volume.
An abundant ocean can feed 1 billion people a healthy meal every day forever. But now they are being filled, killed by throwaway plastics. The equivalent of 1 garbage truck of plastic is dumped in the sea every minute. 17.6 billion pounds every year. Plastic is everywhere in our ocean, floating on the surface, mixing in the salt water, and sitting on the ocean bottom, miles and miles deep. And once in the ocean, it never goes away. Over hundreds of years, it breaks down into small pieces. But those pieces, even the tiny ones called microplastics, are still plastic. Sea turtles are choking on it.
Is there no way to put the sound on? Is there no way to put the sound on?
Yeah, you just got to transfer it to the...
Sorry about that.
It's your output, but I don't know how to do it on the fly. You need to get
Has anyone picked up any trash while you've been out here sailing this week?
Oh, there we go.
What's the craziest things you guys have found?
I've done it. So now go back to the beginning.
Baseball glove? Yeah, that's a new one. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, yesterday we picked up a shoe.
I saw a mattress yesterday. I think it was on the 420 course.
So I don't think we have to pick it maybe just a little bit earlier. Yeah, that's
nice.
Moving there. Okay, it's going to come out the TV now.
Okay.
great. That's better.
Floating on the surface, mixing in the salt water, and sitting on the ocean bottom, miles and miles deep. And once in the ocean, it never goes away. Over hundreds of years, it breaks down into small pieces. But those pieces, even the tiny ones called microplastics, are still plastic. Sea turtles are choking on it. Scientists say that over 60% of whale and dolphin species are affected by it. Zooplankton, the base of the ocean food chain, eat it. And so do we. It's in the water we drink. It's in our food. Microplastics have been found in our salt, our honey, and our beer. And sometimes even in the air we breathe. Companies are choosing to make something that will be used just once, from a material that lasts forever. If you don't like what throwaway plastics are already doing to our world, brace yourself. We face a tsunami of throwaway plastic in our and the ocean's future. 4 times more plastic will be produced between now and the middle of the century than has been produced in all of history. 4 times more.
All right. So that was a very dramatic beginning, but it is happening. This is all real. And that's why, let's see. So we are going to be starting the Clean Regattas program in the next few regattas that you'll be attending. I'm going to talk about why this matters to me. So first of all, I started sailing at a young age, spending most of my summers on the water, and I've been alarmed by the increasing amount of trash and oil leaks in the ocean. And when I found out about Sailors for the Sea and what they've been doing throughout different clubs and regattas, I was really impressed by their efforts, and I wanted to join on their mission to promote sustainability. And I wanted to share more about this program with you guys and let you guys have an opportunity to volunteer. Now I'm going to pass it over to Laura, who's going to share a little bit about her experience with Sailors for the Sea.
Cool. Yeah, so my involvement, just watching that video makes me sick to my stomach. So I've always felt that way, and I've always felt like we're in a unique position where we see everything. We go to different regattas. I grew up in the Midwest, so a lot of my friends that don't go on the water at all, like they don't see what we see. So I feel like we have a responsibility to educate ourselves and educate others. So I'm currently an ambassador for Sailors of the Sea. They get a lot of information to me. And then I also used to work for the US Moth class. And it was cool because they were sponsored by 11th Hour Racing. And for them to get any money to travel or do anything that they were doing as a class, they had to prove that they were giving back to the environment, that they were doing different sustainable practices wherever they went. So they hired me to come in, do research, and help write up what they were doing. So in doing that, one of the things I found out is that each location we go to has a different set of rules, has a different ecosystem. And that's something that's really fascinating to me. So one of the things I learned here is I was like, when it rains, there's a lot of trash. We had rain here, we're seeing everything in the water, and it's disgusting. And so I'm like, I see that and I want to get a net and I just want to fish it all out. But I learned by chatting with someone from here, it actually all collects in an area, and they'll come up and do a whole trash haul. I went to Bermuda to sail and learned a lot about their recycling system and their fishing. In my head, I thought, oh, we're going to eat local fish. Well, that's actually, they have an overfishing population, and so it's not good to eat certain fish there that you see on the menu. So there's a lot of little examples. Sailing on the gorge, I don't know if any of you have sailed on the gorge. Salmon fishing is big there. So getting to a spot, asking questions, figuring out what the problems are, and then teaching your fellow sailors. That's a big part of what I love doing. I also live in Miami. Has anyone sailed in the Grove before? A couple of you? Yeah, Bree. So I love the Everglades, and there's a huge contrast between the big buildings, all of the pollution in Miami, and everything just in the Everglades getting dumped. That's part of why I started hunting pythons. We've all kind of been joking about it, but I see the pythons being a huge problem, and so I've been volunteering my time to help remove them from the Everglades. So there are a lot of things that we can do as sailors. You guys are working on boat projects. We had several gasket fixes yesterday. You guys are peeling off the tape. I know it's annoying. We've got to collect everything. You've got to collect your e-tape. You've got to do all these little things. I always travel with a to-go coffee cup. Always refill the water bottles. Don't go with the plastic. Like, we just have to do every little thing ourselves, and then educate ourselves to teach other people, not just your fellow sailors, but your friends who don't ever get on the water. That's kind of my story.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. All right, so we're going to talk to you a little bit more about Sailors for the Sea and their different programs. But most importantly, we're going to talk about the Clean Regattas program. You can learn about the other ones on their website. So Clean Regattas, the goal of Clean Regattas are to reduce the environmental impact of sailing events. And Sailors for the Sea is the one doing this, mostly because they have helped support over 4,000 events in making these Clean Regattas. or supporting them in guiding them through that, which have reached over 2 million sailors and which have spread over 50 countries worldwide. So this is pretty impressive. And so what is the Clean Regattas program? Well, the Clean Regattas program was created by Sailors for the Sea, and they offer this Clean Regattas toolkit, which is a go-to guide for sustainable events like Clean Regattas. And they have different levels and different best practices which regattas can follow. And based off of how many of these practices they follow, they can get higher and higher ranking on their sustainability ladder. And by doing this, they can even get a certification if they want to demonstrate how much work they put into becoming a sustainable event. So what are some of the best practices? Some of the best practices, they say, are the elimination of single-use items, which Laura talked about earlier, community involvement, so involving the community that we have around us, like the sailing community, climate awareness, environmental stewardship, and responsible waste management. So we're going to watch this quick video explaining further into detail the Clean Regattas program. It's pretty short, but it'll give you a better idea of what it is.
Our Clean Regattas program is the world's leading sustainability certification for water-based events. Clean Regattas provides a framework for sailors to reduce pollution, limit single-use plastics, protect sensitive marine habitats, and create enduring change within their communities. The future of the ocean depends not only on our actions, but also on those of future generations. Kids' environmental lesson plans, also known as KELP, have empowered hundreds of thousands of children to become environmental stewards. Sailors for the Sea brings boaters and sailors together to help save the oceans and protect what we love. Please join us today.
All right.
Our Clean
So for the Midwinters West, which is probably the next regatta all of you are going to be attending, we are going to take our first steps towards a clean regatta. One of these are the elimination of single-use items. So as you've probably seen, there is already a water refill station here at ABYC. And then we also encourage you to use your own reusable water bottles to reduce plastic waste and to try to skip bags or go reusable. And then for the environmental stewardship side of the best practices, we are going to be hosting a beach cleanup for the next Midwinters Regatta. So the beach and marina cleanup is going to be happening on March 22nd from 4 to 6 p.m. after the regatta. If you want to join, you want to meet outside the ABYC clubhouse. Why should you join us? Well, it can be daunting to know what to do because it seems like such a huge problem. But when we all collectively work together and make small steps to make a difference, you can contribute to reducing plastic waste big time. And throughout this event, you can meet other sailors from different clubs. It's pretty social, and it can be fun to just gather and help the community and the environment. Some of the benefits are that Sailors for the Sea provides volunteer hours. We'll sign them off. So every one of you is probably a high schooler, so that's pretty important. At the end of the cleanup, we also host a raffle prize, so you can get some cool merch from Sailors for the Sea, and there's also some Sailors for the Sea swag. So up here, there's a QR code if you want to sign up, and then we're also going to have a sign up sheet over here if you want to help. Thank you.
Nice. Nice job.
Nice work. Thank you, Laura. That was great.